Thank you, Danielle and James. One of our most spirited traditions here at the Los Angeles National Cemetery is Hollywood's own, the magnificent women and men of the Army's 300th Army Band. It's under the direction of Jeff Smith, and as we announce your branch, please stand and remain standing so we may acknowledge you and honor your service. I believe, if I've got the list right, last year I made a mistake. I apologize profusely. I think we're starting with the Coast Guard. Indeed we are. Jeff Smith, Commander, please take it away. So Space Force. Do we have any Space Force veterans here? If so, please rise. I see a couple in the back. And now we're up to the Air Force. United States Navy. I know we've got some Marines out here, the U.S. Marine Corps. Without the United States Army. Thank you, Commander. Would you like to jump into something else right now? Jeff, would you like to do something? That's... Okay. I'd like to ask you all to stand as Master Sergeant Keith Bayer of the 300th Army Band plays taps. We can all salute or put your hand over your heart as we remember all those that are interred in this cemetery and where else they might be throughout the world. They served our country and we owe them a great debt. Commander, taps. Please be seated. Thank you, Master Sergeant Keith Bayer, and again, the U.S. 300th Army Band. James Bunker is with us today. He's the president of the Sons of the American Revolution, and I'd like him to share a few words with us. President Bunker, please.
Good morning. On behalf of the Harper chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution, it is my profound honor to welcome you as we gather on these sacred grounds to commemorate Memorial Day through the solemn placing of our nation's flag, one for each brave soul who rests here. Each flag placed is more than a gesture, it is a promise that we will remember names and stories that history books may overlook, but that echo across time through our presence and our reverence. Here at the Los Angeles National Cemetery lie the remains of veterans from nearly every American conflict, from the Civil War and World War I and II, to Korea and Vietnam, and to more recent sacrifices in Iraq and Afghanistan. Their service spans generations, but they are united by a single legacy. They stood in defense of liberty when our nation called. Each headstone tells a story of courage. Some died in battle. Others lived long after their service, but carried the weight of the war with them. And many, like my own relatives resting in veteran cemeteries, we returned home to quietly build a better future for those who would follow. They never asked for thanks, only that we remember. As members of the Sons of the American Revolution, we carry forward the legacy of those who fought in our nation's earliest battles for independence. But today we will also pay tribute to those who have since borne the burdens of freedom, from Bunker Hill to Valley Forge, from the beaches of Normandy to the jungles of Vietnam, from the islands of the Pacific to the mountains of Afghanistan. The torch of service has passed from generation to generation. Let each flag not only mark a grave, but declare this life mattered. This sacrifice is remembered. This American story endures. And may their memory inspire in us a deeper devotion to the ideals they served. Thank you. And may God bless all who serve and all those who rest here.
See me looking up at the sky, and you may ask yourself, why is he doing that? Well, we're waiting for someone to join us here, and I'm going to tell you about that. There's a group called the
my grandmother
Flight out of Long Beach, and they have agreed, and somewhere in the sky on his way here right now is an aircraft. And that aircraft is going to fly over, turn, and then go back again, coming from south to north, and then going north to south.
But you guys
Unless there's a problem, you should be here in a second. He or she. I'd like to acknowledge the people who have participated today. Our Gold Star mother, Gail Johnson. People from LA County, Jim Zenner's office. We want to thank Lana Rushing, who did an amazing job with the media to make sure that people knew that we're here and we're honoring people who are here. The Aloha Catering Company of Los Angeles, Gene Hong, I want you to know how much we appreciate your support of those who are participating in the program. Medevac Would you please welcome Ben Schechter? I'm looking to say thank you to a man that I didn't. I'm going to let him tell you why he's here. We all know Ben when he was knee-high to a grasshopper.
Hello everybody, good morning / afternoon. My name's Ben Schechter and I'm honored to share my family's legacy of service. My journey with Memorial Day began at the age of 6 years old as a Tiger Scout, placing flags at the LA National Cemetery, where my grandfather Mort Schechter, a proud World War II veteran, lays rest. I vividly remember the stories from my grandfather as a tail gunner in a B-24 bomber, flying 35 missions over Europe. Today, my father Glenn Schechter and I continue this tradition, honoring my grandfather's memory and all who served. These moments have instilled a profound reverence in me, a gratitude that spans generations. My grandfather Mort embodied the courage and sacrifice that define our armed forces. Today, my father, Glenn, and I carry forward his legacy, ensuring that the sacrifices of our heroes were never forgotten. Together, we honor the past, we embrace the present, and we commit to a future where their bravery is eternally cherished. As we stand here surrounded by the markers of valor, let us remember that our duty extends beyond remembrance. It calls us to honor the sacrifices of our veterans by living with purpose and gratitude. Let us teach future generations the value of service, ensuring that the legacy, like my grandfather holds, endures. Thank you for joining my father and I in this sacred tradition, and God bless.
We have two very special people in our audience, among many special people. They were so involved with our flag placement program for years and years, and relocated out of state believe, to Texas. Are Michelle and Keith here? Would you kindly stand, please? When the program began to put the flags out and to organize the Scouts, Michelle and Keith were instrumental. And we could always count on them. And we're sorry that they left us, but Texas has inherited two great volunteers. So thank you so much for coming in for today. I have a feeling, and I was just told by one of our pilots, that it's very possible that the plane will not come because of low visibility. Not being a pilot, I didn't know that. So we're just going to conclude our program. I'm going to give a few more thanks, and then we'll let you folks go. Representing the Scouts of America, who led our Pledge of Allegiance, many of you may not know this, but only boys were allowed to be Eagle Scouts. And then with the combining of the Boy and Girl Scout programs, we now have Eagle Scouts that are both, and you met two of them here today. So we want to thank Bella Cottrell and Jaden Osterhaus. The Buffalo Soldiers bring their mighty steeds here, led by A.J. Simeon Jr. I want to thank them for being here with us. And it's been my distinct pleasure over these years to be an officer with the foundation currently